Every cat owner has watched this happen. Your cat is up somewhere it has no business being. The top of the wardrobe, the edge of a bookshelf, the back of the sofa. And it misjudges. A paw slips. For half a second, it's just falling, upside down, legs everywhere. And then it lands. 4 feet, flat on the floor, and it strolls off like nothing happened. Maybe it licks one shoulder to save face. That's the whole event. Now picture you doing the same thing. Going off something head first and hitting the ground. You'd break something. And from any real height, a fall a cat shrugs off would put you in a hospital, or worse. So what's going on? How does an animal drop from a height that would kill a person, hit solid ground, and just walk away? The answer isn't one thing. It's a stack of systems. Some biological, some pure physics. Layered on top of each other and tuned over millions of years of living in trees. Once you see how they fit together, you'll never watch a cat on a high shelf the same way again. Before we get into the how, let's clear something up, because the premise is a little misleading. Cats do die from falls. The most famous study on this looked at 132 cats brought into an animal hospital in New York after falling from buildings, anywhere from 2 floors up to 32. Around 90% of the ones that arrived survived. But notice the catch in that sentence. The ones that arrived. A cat killed outright on the pavement doesn't get carried to a vet. So when you hear that cats survive enormous falls, you're not seeing the full picture. You're seeing the survivors. The ones that didn't make it were never counted. But even allowing for that, cats survive these falls far more often than we would, and the reasons are genuinely strange. The first thing that happens is the twist. Cats have a structure in the inner ear, the same balance system we have, that tells them instantly which way is down. The moment a cat feels itself inverted, it rotates its head to face the ground, then folds in the middle and turns the front half of its body one way and the back half the other. It does this with nothing to push against. No wall, no floor, just air. For a long time, physicists couldn't explain how it was possible at all. It was filmed frame by frame back in 1894 and not fully solved on paper until 1969. A kitten can do it by around 7 weeks old. Nobody teaches it. So now the cat is facing the right way. That alone isn't enough. What really saves it is speed, or the lack of it. Here's the part most people get wrong. A falling cat is not going as fast as you'd assume. When anything falls, air resistance eventually balances gravity and the object stops speeding up. That's terminal velocity. For a person, that's around 120 miles per hour. For a cat, spread out, it's about 60. Half the speed. A cat is small and light with a lot of surface area for its weight, so it reaches that limit fast. Less speed at impact means far less energy to absorb. And here's the strange twist on top of that. In that New York study, injuries got worse the higher the fall, up to about 7 floors. Above 7 floors, they got less severe. That sounds backwards. The proposed explanation is this. Once a cat reaches top speed and stops accelerating, it stops feeling like it's falling. So it relaxes. It stops bracing and spreads its legs out wide, like a flying squirrel, which adds drag and, crucially, spreads the coming impact across its whole body instead of driving it all through 4 legs. It's not a certainty, and other studies disagree, but it's a remarkable idea. Then there's the body itself. A cat's skeleton is built to bend. Its collarbone is tiny and barely attached, so the shoulders float. The legs fold and flex on landing, stretching the moment of impact out over distance instead of stopping dead. Cats aren't even the best at this. A squirrel is smaller and lighter still, with an even lower terminal velocity. It essentially cannot fall fast enough to hurt itself. Same problem, taken further down the same road. Go small enough, and the fall simply stops being dangerous. So why can't we do any of this? Fair question, and the honest answer is physics won't let us. There's a rule about size. Make an animal twice as big and its weight goes up 8-fold, but the surface area catching the air only goes up 4-fold. Scale up, and terminal velocity climbs with you. A mouse can fall down a mine shaft and walk away. A rat is killed. A human is broken. We are simply on the wrong side of that line, too heavy for our size to ever fall gently. And we never needed the fix. Our ancestors weren't leaping between branches with a slip meaning death. We solved height a completely different way. We stayed careful, we gripped, and eventually we built railings and ropes and parachutes. We handled the danger from the outside instead of evolving a body that could take the hit. Different solution to the same problem. So the next time your cat comes off a high shelf and lands like it planned it, remember what just happened. it found down in an instant. It was already falling slower than you ever could. It let go and spread wide to share the blow. And it hit on a frame built to bend instead of break. 4 systems, stacked, refined over millions of years in the trees. Cats aren't immune to falling. They're built for it. That's the difference? And that drop that would end you? From the cat's side, barely worth mentioning.